What's going on, everyone? My name's Sean. I'm a sophomore here.
I'm
and-
Jacob, a freshman.
Yeah. So today we're on the crossover new podcast.
Very first episode.
Very first. So we're just gonna, I guess, like the timeline of the video, we're just gonna like
Just talk.
cross over everything.
Yeah, just be tangent from tangent to tangent, just about anything.
Yeah, pretty much like anything that pertains like conspiracies, paranormal, like
anything.
background.
Maybe rumors of college. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So I think the first thing we're gonna talk about is the Blue Bandit. That's
Yeah. Okay.
reported.
So apparently last semester, if you
Two
read
incidents.
campus, yeah, 2 incidents. There was this guy. We call him the lewd bandit. I do not know what the word lewd means. You can look that up because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
No, we're not allowed to.
Yeah, we're not allowed
That's
to.
over PG. That's like that's rated R stuff.
Yeah. So there was this guy, this gentleman, that not a gentleman, but he rolled up into, I don't know when the first incident. I think it might have been around Springs, which is one of our not dining halls, but it's like one of our student
The
activities.
student center. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
at
the student center.
Springs. It was at around 10 p.m. one
Yeah.
evening. When we get the exact date from the text that we get.
Yeah, so we get these texts. That lets
PC
us know-
alert.
Yeah, our PC alert. So
So the first one was on the 12th. About lewd behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Malicious behavior was on the 12th. Or at least that's, or maybe could be the second or first attempt. But we did receive 2 emails about it.
yeah, we did receive 2 emails on.
So it was. This could be the 12th of November.
could have been.
Could be the first or second instance. So it's either before the first or this is the second one.
Right.
I'm not really sure. I just
Yeah.
got the one text there.
But
But
I'm familiar with the second incident where he came into Neville Hall, which is our
this is where we're recording it.
yeah, it's like the hall, like I don't even know, it's like where we have like just
Language
Yeah,
classes,
yeah.
or like just
English.
English.
some history, some
Yeah.
it's a student center.
Yeah.
So he got in. I don't know how.
Who knows?
I don't know who
Did
lets
he-
a guy that looks like the Lewd Bandit.
Dude,
I think
doesn't
we have to
look
like clip it in like at the bottom corner.
Yeah, maybe Reeves could do the image
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
there is.
But
of the dude.
this guy does not look anywhere near a college age kid.
No,
not
it's
not a lick.
no, like it doesn't even look like a professor because he just has the beanie like hat,
Yeah.
with a white t-shirt and then pants that look like they're pulled down, they're
And
not
he
like the
looks-
baggy. Like
Yeah.
that's not a teacher, so I wouldn't even know like how a student wouldn't even let a teacher that look like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, he looks very like strung out on.
Yeah, like
on
he looks
something.
like anything, any sorts of substance.
Yeah.
There could be Kool-Aid,
Kool-Aid.
maybe you sniff some
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. You start Kool-Aid. I don't know.
Anyways, was he ever found? I don't
No,
think
I
he
don't
was.
think so. I mean, all we know is, hey, if you ever see this guy, because there's a poster on the
Yeah.
GDH, he's like, if you see this guy, report him.
Yeah, like
It's still
reported.
there. And so when I first got the email, I was like, okay, sweats. Okay, I wear sweats quite lately as my t-shirt and sweats. I'm
Yeah.
like, did I go out? Like, was I out? Because I noticed my Springs earlier, got a burrito to eat,
Yeah.
ate a burrito when I went back to my dorm room. I actually got the burrito and went back straight to the dorm room. So I'm sitting there eating. It's like, wait, I mean, I had a hood on, so maybe because that first instant, I was like, I was trying to like act like look suspicious. And so I was acting in a way because I like to act sometimes,
Yeah.
and you increase your acting for you practice. And I was like, well, maybe act suspicious, maybe. I was like,
Right.
wait, but does this say anything about a sweatshirt though? So not me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, technically though, my burrito was at 8, so technically, I'm good. I've been in my dorm room this whole time watching YouTube videos.
Yeah. When the incident happened, I think I was in class or something like that, and I was like walking out of class, going back to Georgia. Georgia Hall is where I stay, and I get like a notification. It's like, hey, lewd behavior. It's Spring Student Center. I'm thinking like, what? Like, who is down bad that like to holler at girls that way? And then
The second one where he was the second is if I remember correctly, this is when he actually took out his long john,
yeah.
and then it was lewd expressions of that. That was
Yeah.
interesting.
So PC is
Usually safe.
it's safe like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But, like I just don't understand how you can get like a dude inside Springs.
Like,
Springs,
how do you
have to have your key card.
get in?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a couple times, maybe a fellow student will let
Yeah,
you hold the
but-
door, but if you're right behind them,
But not
you usually look like a student though.
yeah,
You
usually,
either look like a teacher or a student that for
yeah,
a fact, because this guy doesn't have a mask on, and usually when you're walking in, you have a mask on.
yeah,
This dude literally did not, so you would know firsthand this is not a student.
right.
You know, and he doesn't look like one. He looks much older than a student. So he could be a teacher, but the teachers have to dress professionally because they have that dress code that they have to follow. You know, at least professional enough.
Right.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
It was
PC life.
Yeah, and then of course before I even came back, we got an email and text about cars getting broken into.
Oh yeah, but that's like, I get that. I've gotten that text message every
year,
every semester. I want to say like some, like it's college. Like
yeah. Why break into someone's car though? I mean, what?
Right.
What? It's like, why do you have to like, report? How about that threatening email or voice call? Threatening voicemail. That was interesting. Like, there's no information on it yet. Like, they're still investigating. That's all that I know of.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like the text, like where the PC alert went out.
It was on the December 18th at 3:04.
December 18th. Well, I didn't get that. But
then
we had the tornadoes.
Oh yeah, the tornado. That was lovely. I woke up that one tornado. I was like, is that a tornado there? I can't. Am I just delirious at this point in time? I'm tired. It's early in the morning. Is it? I don't know. Okay, wait. That sounds like tornado. Okay, roommate, wake up. Wake up, roommate. Yeah, I think it was a tornado.
See, like I didn't care. I was like, man, I got class to do. I got like things to do.
I wasn't too sure. I was like, well, knowing me, because I've seen tornadoes, I see the damage they can do firsthand.
Right.
I was like, I'm on the 4th floor. Not happening. I'm going down to the basement.
And you stay in Georgia?
Yes, I'm in Georgia.
All right. And so, do you have like a lot of like tornadoes over where you live?
In Illinois, we would get a good couple. I've seen a couple firsthand destroy buildings and stuff. So I've seen the damage they can do.
Right.
And if you're on the 4th floor of a building, it's better to be lower than higher.
Yeah.
You want to be in a ditch or underground best you can, because if you're on the 4th floor, you're screwed. Even if you go in the bathroom, that's not safe enough. You're still on a higher up,
especially something like it gets picked up like a car,
or
a tree, and smacks the building.
Exactly, that's not the greatest. So I've seen damage firsthand. I was like, I'm a guy who's seen the damage. Not everyone has seen damage firsthand. I've seen, like, of course, you're seeing the damage. Like, tornado, his damage is really terrible. But, you don't get the gravitude of damage until you see it firsthand.
Right.
Seeing it through a TV or a video of damage is like, oh, it looks bad. And I feel sorry for these people, but is it really that bad? Because you don't realize, like, technically, these people just lost everything they have ever had. Yeah. So it's like, I know how damaging a tornado can be, because I've seen damage firsthand from them.
Yeah, I mean, where I live, there's not like a whole lot.
Oh yeah, and like here in South Carolina, there's not that many, or
like,
ever.
Yeah, it's like one in like
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
It's like one
ever
so often. It's like
snow.
Yeah, here you guys don't get snow. I don't know. You get snow, you get tornadoes. Maybe you get a less tornado.
Right.
With the windstorms, that's pretty fun to see. But it's just pretty interesting, some of these alerts you get. I think one of my funny ones that they say, like, oh, by the way, SLED is doing training.
Yeah.
Bomb training for the dogs, on January 15th.
For anyone who doesn't know, SLED is the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. It's like instead of having like a local agency like the county or like local police, SLED does like investigation or like threats all over like South Carolina. Yeah. So it's like
you have your like normal police department or sheriff's department. They investigate some of the regular homicides and stuff like that. SLED does more of the terrorist side of the state, like more tier bomb stuff, or maybe some of the more drug sides if it's a bit much danger than the drug side of a sheriff or police department can handle.
Right. That's usually what it does. Like it goes only like it's only like issued if it's needed. So.
Yeah, it's there when more help is needed.
Yeah, right.
And they have their own things and their own course though.
Yeah.
They also deal with checking on like people who are doing. They go to gas stations and have underage people go and try to buy cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah.
They issue those type of things too. So they do those type of things also. If I remember from my small stint in learning law enforcement stuff, the Explorers.
Right. And where did you do the Explorers in?
The Lexington County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, okay.
I did that for not even a full year, but I've got a good respect to what cops do.
Right.
Because I was initially, for job wise, for me, I was thinking actor, then I was thinking military, then I went to law enforcement.
Right.
Then to teaching to counseling.
Right.
For schools. So
and do you want so what is your career path? Like, what do you want to do after PC?
I'll get my master's and become a guidance counselor for high school,
Okay.
and eventually become one for college.
Right.
Work my way up. Start small and
Yeah.
work my way up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I personally cannot work with anyone younger than a high schooler.
Uh-huh.
Personally, I have an issue with younger people than me
Uh-huh.
because mental health issues. I
Yeah.
will go into this thing. That's
Yeah.
not that social of a person. Even though, hey, I can talk and have a good chat. This is
it's
not
definitely different in like that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you use a Boy Scouts with people younger than me. It definitely made me like, angry.
Yeah.
And so I was like, high schoolers, I want to help them prepare for life.
Mm-hmm.
Help them get ready for it because they may know what they want to do. They may not. I'm not there to force them because I like to pay things forward. When I moved here in 8th grade, so I moved from Illinois to here, South Carolina, in 8th grade, right before 8th grade started. Okay, we just got into a trailer, we our own house, and we didn't have money because we moved from Illinois to here to South Carolina, and we didn't have no school supplies, so we got school supplies for us.
Right.
For school gave me school supplies because all I had was literally a notebook with a few, like 4 pages of empty space,
Right.
a pencil that big, like not
Yeah.
that big, but pencil, no eraser or anything, and a binder. Other than that, like binder bag thing, I had. Other than that, that's all I had. And it was like, okay, here you go. So I did my Eagle project, which I'm an Eagle Scout proudly. I did a school supply drive for the middle school that they gave me supplies, so kids in need can have that. Because I know what it's like to be in need.
Right.
I've always known what it's like to be in need of supplies.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, the guidance counselor, Dr. Allison, for my junior and senior year, she was great. She helped me out through a lot of things, and it's like I want to help people. That's my whole thing. Like acting, or everything I thought of was to help people,
Right.
not for my own business or anything. Acting, people think, oh, make money and stuff. It's like I don't care less about the money.
Yeah, you just want to. That's just,
entertainment. Like I just want to entertain, make people laugh. I even if someone wants to completely tear my career apart.
Okay.
They'll find some enjoyment in that.
Right.
That's fine by me. I'll take it in strides.
Yeah.
So it's like enjoyment. So counseling is I just want to pay things forward and help people out.
That's good. That's cool.
How about you?
So currently, like back in the day, I've always wanted to be like in the military.
Mhm.
So, and I was not like the smartest kid, especially in like high school. Oh, I say that, but I had a pretty good GPA when I came out.
Yeah.
So I decided to do like the Army, and so now I'm in ROTC. I do all that cool, sweet jazz. It's all right.
Did my stand JROTC myself.
Yeah.
Give my gym credit.
Yeah.
See what the military is like. I was like, no, it's not for me.
Yeah. So, but I do ROTC, and then afterwards, like it's especially coming from like a very small part of like South Carolina. Like I don't come from like I live on a farm. So
I live in a rural area. That's like barely anything. I have to go to Lexington or Pittsburgh to go get anything.
Yeah, that's kind of like
I have a school. That's a school near my house. That's about it.
I have like a school like 12 minutes from my house, and that's where I went to high school.
I'm a bit closer to mine, but
yeah. But I lived on like a farm. I've always grew up outside doing like
rural farm work stuff.
Yeah,
I know what that's like.
So I was like, I really want to do the Army, make it kind of like a career. So that's what I'm doing now, trying to get like an infantry, become an infantry officer, and then after that, like hopefully work for SLED. That's like,
that's a good, helping people out, make sure people are safe. That's not a bad idea.
But I don't know, nowadays, like it's kind of crazy.
It's a taboo joining law enforcement because law enforcement's all bad and evil. Well, technically, not all of them are bad. I understand.
I mean,
there are bad apples. There's always bad apples.
Of course.
And that's like if you talk about the guy who got in the chokehold, that chokeholds are not even allowed. Like, you don't do chokeholds as a police officer, and the only way you do them is if you train, and even then you don't do them because they can go away.
Right.
And doing that for 5 minutes is not the greatest idea, and that's really we think we should probably avoid politics as much as possible because that is a whole divisive thing.
Yeah, that's a very but I definitely understand where you're coming from.
The job they do is much more, from my side in the Explorer post, you only have a split second,
Yeah, it's like
is this a phone? Like all you see is this person holding something, it could be a knife, it could be a gun. It's my phone, but it's dark. You literally have no light besides because it's all dark. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a split second because this person could harm anyone. I could harm anyone or anything, and you have a split second to do what you do.
Yeah.
And then you constantly, police departments are always getting defunded, so they can't afford all the non-lethal stuff, which require more training to even operate those non-lethal.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, most officers have to go buy the stuff themselves out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
So if they're like teachers, so they had to buy their own school supplies.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. We should not
not
get into it, but it's a whole thing. People I think should understand maybe what training they go through before they criticize things.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of like what I want to do after college.
Yeah.
And probably like a history teacher later in life, but I don't.
It's
I
whatever.
don't. I don't know if I could really deal with kids.
Yeah, well, high school maybe seniors.
I might.
WD com class, senior teacher, seniors, on the way
Yeah.
to lunch. It's like, here's your work, do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, getting back to like
To
PC, like
stuff.
what made you like want to come to PC?
I mean, for me, right literally was the size.
Right.
It's small. I don't have to. There's no need for a car. Don't need for really a bike.
Yeah.
Everything is right there. I got lucky with Georgia, and really all the academic buildings are really close by. So it's not that far. Go to a building to do class. Campus is beautiful. It's nice and green. It's spacious. It's nice.
Yeah.
Then also it's only an hour 45 away from where I live now.
Nice.
So it's far enough where my family can still come see me.
Yeah.
I can still see my family every other week or stuff like that.
Right.
When they can't make it. So it's far enough where I still have my independence, but I still also have that dependent. Where I got need some help here.
Right.
So it's far enough away, but close enough where I could, if needed, go home for a time.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially due to this whole pandemic thing going on right now. So you have
the whole COVID spiel.
Yeah, I have a cough mainly because of asthma bronchitis. It's not COVID. People relax.
Yeah. But
how about you? Why did you choose PC?
So my original plan was going to go to West Point. Yeah,
West Point College.
Yeah. So I was going to go to West Point. Didn't get accepted into there. I got like appointed to go by my congressman. So I was like, on the right track.
Right. Yeah.
And then I applied to a few more schools, and PC was like, here's X amount of dollars. I was like, okay,
that's not. Yeah.
So rolled up in there, and yeah. Kind of rest is history. Been here for about. Well, this would be my second. Well, this is my second year.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible. I love the campus life. It's really nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Super easy.
Now, here's a good question. Do you prefer the Springs food or the GTH food?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
It depends. Usually, I eat at if I have like a big group of friends, I usually eat at like GDH just because I have like more food options and normally I like chat it up. Springs is kind of like
quick go.
It's like a quick grab and go.
Exactly.
Grab food right.
Sandwich and burrito. Yeah, it's like for me, I do actually enjoy the GDH food. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
For a person whose main food was either takeout or frozen meals, you see at the microwave. This stuff is a bit more basically prepared daily, fresh. Yeah. So this is probably the most healthiest I've even eaten, even though technically I probably don't eat as healthy as I should. But
whatever.
That's buffet style too. So, I'm paying how much for food? I even enjoy myself.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't enjoy the burritos. Joe's Grill. I enjoy a good boar's head sandwich. It's pretty good. But I can't really say if I prefer one or the other. The food. I enjoy food.
It's like situational. It's like if
do I have time for GDH or no?
Yeah, usually in the mornings, like mornings and dinner, I eat because when I get out of PT, it'll be like 7 in the morning and GDH opens at 7. So
you go over there. GDH, you work up an appetite.
Yeah, I worked up an appetite, so I'll get something to eat. Usually at lunch, I'll grab like some quick food, especially in between classes. Like I don't want to sit down and eat, wait. So grabbing food and going back to my room, then busting out a quick little essay or whatever.
Yeah.
Just working on different assignments. Yeah. So
for me, I just look at what do I have to taste for.
Yeah.
Do I feel like walking all the way to GTH?
Yeah.
It's not a far walk per se, but Georgia is a bit more farther away. Like one of the 3 parts away dormitories from Georgia, from the dining hall.
Yeah.
Well, I think was it Clinton? That's Clinton closer. It's like right across the way.
Yeah, Clinton is definitely
you just walk straight. So there you go. Yeah. It's a bit far to walk to get Springs though. So
I stayed in Clinton actually.
I have no idea when I'll be next semester. Next year. So who knows?
Well, you're sophomore, so you'll probably get Georgia again.
Oh, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If I can request Georgia, that'd be nice. Because I like it's a great place. The States. You got really things right by. You don't have to go too far for class. I'm a slow walker, as is, and I don't rush myself to places, even though I should.
Yeah.
But then I show up early enough to classes without any issue. So apparently, PC Presbyterian College has a rumor of Neville of a ghost, as we just recently heard.
We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, we were because we didn't know about it. So, I'm quite really new to the college.
Yeah.
You've been here for 2 years, so maybe it's not what they rightly talk about. But apparently, the room we're in currently, the room on the 5th floor, right above us, as it's called a flag room because it apparently has a giant American flag painted or a giant flag in there.
Yeah. So
and apparently someone either shot or hanged himself. That is interesting. I'm curious. Is that true? I never heard of it. Like
personally, I've never heard anything. I've heard it was haunted. Like it was like.
I mean, I know someone wanted to do a Ghost of Neville, and I thought it was just a kind of show, like a little silly sitcom show to do, where someone pretends to be a ghost and ooh, I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, type thing. Like you drape over a person, you know, a white shield or someone, and they're like, oh, it's a ghost. Oh no.
Right.
Catch the ghost on the this special phone camera.
Yeah.
That type of thing, but you know, I was like, it's an actual rumor, and technically, if I was Presbyterian College, I'm like, I would kind of toss this as a, you know, for those interested in the paranormal, there's a possibility that this building be haunted.
It could be. I mean, it's really saying how old this building is.
I mean, it's been renovated because half the building was renovated, I think. Yeah. So because, or at least it seems like this building is much longer and bigger than it was.
Oh, definitely.
Because it has the Cornell Center on the other half of this building, which I think definitely increased the length.
Oh, yeah, definitely increased the length of that.
Because
it added like what? 4, 5 more, 6 more classrooms, I think.
Because you have 122 and 121 on the first floor, and I guess you have 6 classes most likely.
6 classes. So.
You know, added an elevator, which is you know, super dandy. You know.
And then the bathrooms.
Yeah.
They added that, or they probably renovated the bathrooms.
You probably renovated the bathrooms.
Probably moved the piping somewhere else. But yeah,
definitely when invaded the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean. The building is technically only like a one side of this, the other side you see the age difference between them, you know?
Yeah, because you still see the brick from the...
and if you go on the other side where the other door is, where the handicap door is for this building, you know, you have the old door frame from the original building from the other side.
Yeah, the Cooney side of things.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Maybe I'll go up there one day and see, hey, is there a ghost here?
Yeah, maybe we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because that's a good... I'm a believer in the sense of the paranormal.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you know, I'm skeptical because, you know, I want to make sure what I'm seeing or hearing is true.
Right.
You know, that it's not a trick of light or that, no, maybe I kicked something or whatnot, you know. Like, for me, one of the most earliest memories of my paranormal experience is when this could have been easy at night terror. You know, you wake up and you see things. You know, you see just trying to make out of shape. But to me, this seemed real because, as I described my dad's grandma. She's been long dead for years.
Right.
So I was like explaining. So as a situation, we lived in Illinois. We lived in a townhouse at this time. So, which is me. So I woke up because I see the bedroom door open. Or I did at one point because I did not like the claustrophobia door closed, you know. So I set the door open and I woke up one night, you know, just woke up. You know, I look up and I see this figure of this woman, you know, in a nightgown, you know, one of those long furry nightgowns, you know, curls in her hair. The only difference was that her eyes were red, shining red. You know, like those pictures when you take a picture, the little red irises, you know, the eyes. So I was like, this as I was explaining to my dad, you know, this figure I kind of saw, you know, it's like, oh, that sounds like grandma, like my grandma, you know, who's passed away. I was like, huh, neat. But again, it could have been easy at light, you know. Yeah. I did have a night light. Right. You know, for being a third grader and stuff in the dark. Yay. Yeah. But again, who knows? I mean, maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, one of the second memories of paranormal was everyone, we weren't home. We literally were at my grandma's for the weekend. Like everyone was, okay? Mm-hmm. So no one was home. No one broke in. So we never got before about, you know, breaking into an alarm system set up for, you know, if someone broke in. We were, no. Yeah. You know, you literally have to press the key to, you know, certain code and to let the, you know, alarm know, or use, if you went to the garage, different story, because the garage only opened up by a electronic, you know, like key. That one of a kind type of key, you know. But that's before, I think, time before people were able to truly mimic keys, like electronic keys wise, you know. That's because that was still new technology then. Yeah, especially at that, you know, time, you know. Just it was getting developed while we were aging up, you know. Yeah. Growing up, it was a new thing.
Definitely was.
You know. Like, I think the internet was still a new thing when we were, you know.
Yeah.
It was still old, but it's still new as it was developing. Yeah. I mean, as today is though, it's it's old. Yeah. It's thing for us when we were young. It's like, oh, it's new. It's interesting. But so we came back, which was Christmas, so we spent the whole Christmas Eve and stuff, a couple days there. Come back, my dresser. It's a big dresser. It's not like I couldn't, you know, move it without any help. Yeah. You know, my dad they had to get the trolley to move it. And the dresser was down. like it was standing vertically, and it was down on its face. But mind you not, the neighbors did report a loud thud, with late in the night. Like, okay, maybe did someone break in? No, like nothing missing, nothing's out of place.
Yeah.
Because my family is pretty good at noticing what's where.
Yeah, right.
You
They're
usually have a particular place what goes where.
Yeah, very situationally aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing was out of place. The only thing was out of place was my dressing.
I got
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like you literally had to literally use a trolley to even get the tip thing because the thing was heavy.
Yeah.
It was full of clothes, so that it's even more weight.
Right.
And it wasn't like it was like throwing the things were open and the store out of place or damaged. It wasn't. It was
just knocked over.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, what?
Was that like the only thing that was like knocked over?
That was the only thing knocked over. Literally the only thing. Nothing else. That was the only thing in the whole house that was out of place. That wasn't where it was supposed to because it was literally on its side.
Right.
How about you? Have you had any?
Yeah, I actually had one pretty recently. So, give you a little backstory to this. I had a so my full name is like Sean Montgomery. That's like my first
Sean
name.
Montgomery.
So, but everyone calls me Sean. So pretty much like my uncle Montgomery, which was actually my great uncle Montgomery, which was my dad's uncle.
Yeah.
He married this woman named Ruth, and so my great aunt Ruth, Uncle Montgomery lived in the house that we used to live in, or like we now live in their house.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Uncle Montgomery, he died. I don't remember what time or like.
He died
like before I was born.
Yeah.
So like
way before you. Okay.
So and then my Aunt Ruth, she lived up to 104. So she passed away, I want to say back in like 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there. Anyways, so she's been dead and gone, didn't have any like paranormal activities, but and it was actually recently over break. Actually.
Okay. This is over
So,
this 2-month break we had. That's
Oh my
far
god.
paranormal than any other paranormal thing that could happen. 2 months for college break?
That was
what?
insane. But yeah. So I was at this local hardware store in my hometown, very small town, so like you kind of know everyone. And this gentleman, soft spoken, very nice guy. He had been like my height.
Yeah.
And he, came up to me. He's like, "Hey, can you help me like load up these salt bags for like we have like wells and
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was like, yeah, sir. Like let me throw. I had like some bird seed for my mom. I got like some PVC pipe for my dad. So I threw it in the back of my truck, and I helped this guy. And so we started talking. He's like, "Oh, my name is Montgomery. You can call me Mac." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." He's like, just talking about his day. He's like, "Oh, trying to give me some money." He's like, "Well," he's like, "I'm about to go take my wife on a date." I was like, "Oh, we have fun with that." She's like, "Yeah, we've been married for," he said like 50 something years. I was like, "Oh wow." She's like, "Yeah." And he said like, "Oh, her name's Ruth," and I was like, "Okay."
We got convenience.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, convenient. And he had like this truck that I've always wanted. Like I'm actually restoring kind of this truck. That's besides the point. So his name is Montgomery. His wife's name's Ruth. And
I'm gonna guess the thing is that most likely was your uncle at that point.
Yeah, like
that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking like I don't know if it was like a sign. It was very apparent. Like it was weird.
It was like okay, it's convenient or it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Your uncle died. You never met him, so you wouldn't really know what he looked like.
Yeah.
Talking about Ruth, and she just passed away probably 5 years ago.
Right.
I mean 5 or 6 years depending when. So she's been there. Was like okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So like I helped him, and like I just thought about the whole way home because it was probably about like a 20-minute ride back to the house. So I rode back to the house. I told my mom, I was like, "This is like so weird." And I just remember he had like this like this hat, this felt hat with a band around it, and a pheasant feather. And in the photo of
your uncle,
I swear to God, wearing the same exact hat, and I was like, "Bro, that's crazy. This is wild." Saw the man in the flesh.
Maybe he was like corporeal form, just checking out his family, make sure the farm and life, everything's doing good, Maybe he wasn't alive but going on the day of the life. Maybe, maybe there is an afterlife somewhere and they were just gonna go have some salsa. And dance a salsa,
Yeah, I mean, it might have been just a coincidence.
Maybe like a complete coincidence, because it's like.
But that was just, just a little weird.
That is definitely weird. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe if you wanted the guy again, maybe.
Right.
It's like, are you? I mean, personally for me, I think paranormal is a good way to express an interest in like maybe what is afterlife.
100%.
Like aliens. there's good chances. I don't think we're the only ones,
I
you
don't
know, in the universe, like only living organic, you know, sentient things.
Yeah.
There could be a civilization that far, far away. Now, have they been to Earth? Who knows? Good possibility. You
Yeah.
never know if they able to master space age technology, but space travel and stuff like that. We never know. But I don't think we're the only ones. I agree, we're not the only ones because
I don't-
that would be really odd and bizarre if
Definitely.
we were, you know,
Yeah.
because we're the only ones sentient beings here. It's like, and then why have all these planets other than just only have one universe, you know? So
Yeah.
or you know cryptids, you know if you don't know what cryptids are, you know monsters like Chupacabra, Bigfoot, Yeti, you know
Yeah.
the Sasquatch, you know all those beasts of things, you know having that cryptids, you know cryptozoology, you know the study of the cryptids, you know mythical beasts,
Right.
you know land far in between.
Yeah.
Are interesting, you know. You never know; those animals could have existed a long time
I
ago.
think so because like I don't know if you ever heard about it's the Kandahar giant.
No.
So there was a story about a bunch of like special forces guys going to Kandahar, Afghanistan, and they were like raiding a compound that was on the mountaintop, stuff like that, and just shorten it, they face this like giant, and like starts killing them, and they retreat, stuff like that. So it's kind of like weird because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't believe in Bigfoot, like I don't believe in like the Yeti or like the Loch Ness monster, but then like like there's like stories and there's like evidence supporting that.
No, I'm talking about the Loch Ness monster. There, it's kind of been debunked about the Loch Ness. About all the as some people would still believe. Because I do believe there could be a Loch Ness monster at one point. Maybe, but some of the famous photo was actually just debris in the water, just some wood.
Oh, okay.
That's all it was. It wasn't actual. It was just due to the photo quality. And I mean, it's really hard to. And then it's like as the photographer actually came out and said, well, it was just debris.
Okay.
There's a way to make a publicity stunt,
Yeah.
You get increased tourism, get some more money into the economy and stuff.
100%.
So, having those ideas like the Mothman,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think maybe the Mothman was real because you have all these stories about this humanoid giant moth-like being,
Right.
as a warning, before disaster happened in this particular area, before a disaster, before the bridge collapsed in that area. I think before fire, I think also.
I'm not too
sure. Like it's been a while since I've actually researched or listened to people talk about Mothman. But I think I tossed him into the cryptid, because he's like Bigfoot. He's humanoid, but ape, more humanoid ape thing, which is could be related to the Sasquatch, or Yeti, depending where in the world you're located,
Right.
Or Chupacabra, which is one of my favorite. Because I remember watching this Chupacabra video just on Chupacabra, on information, the thing is goat sucker, which literally translates from Spanish to goat sucker.
Right.
Because tons of goats had a blood drain, which is really odd, There was actual evidence that these goats were draining blood. Could have been some people going on a farm and drain goats because goats are usually a symbol for Satan, and the devil, the symbol of the goat.
Yeah.
Usually just like blood, usually used in rituals and sacrifices of such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still odd that you found tons of these goats, more than what you would expect draining blood.
Yeah.
Over time. And the idea of this chupacabra is just beast, and it's been slightly debunked. Some people caught the chupacabra,
Right.
but it was actually just a dog with some genetic mutations to it.
Okay.
So there's a good possibility that they were alive at one point in time.
Yeah.
Because you have to get ideas and stuff. Maybe a dragon. Dragons could have existed a long time ago.
They could have. Did you hear about the This was just like a pterodactyl. Anyways, in Canada, they found in this mountain. I want to say it was like a frozen pterodactyl.
Oh, that's nice.
Or something of like a pterodactyl and a lizard, kind of mixed. And they say it was a dragon, but it doesn't look anything like a how you would picture.
Again, that's just us imagining what what dragons look like. But we could become along, because I doubt any animal could breathe fire. We say them. But a dragon, as a lizard that can fly,
Yeah, that's possible.
It is a possible, thing. They adapted to survive.
Right.
If it lived in the mountains, it most likely had to adapt to fly.
Yeah.
But it also walked on land.
Yeah.
Or dinosaurs. Initially probably were scaly, but now they're becoming more like the feathered. More and more there were feathered, dinosaurs, because they were more bird-like than they are reptile,
Right.
So you have that, the more discoveries that happen. It's like, okay, there's more bird than reptile at this point in time, So it's a whole idea is like things could exist. You never know because we don't exist at that time.
Yeah.
We don't exist hundreds of millions of years ago when the Earth first became a thing.
Yeah.
We only at this point we're just guessing what happened in history. Okay, how did the dinosaurs really end? Maybe it was a meteor. Who knows? Maybe they just died out. Maybe they just ice age happened. They just froze and died. You never know. And you get new life, and life continues cycling. So it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Do they exist? Maybe they do. Maybe the Loch Ness. Every time I think of Loch Ness, every time I think of Nessie, I think of the Polyphylosaurus. The dinosaur.
Yeah.
Water dinosaur that had the four flippers, really big, like a brontosaurus head like thing.
Yeah.
The Sims of the water. That's every time I think of Nessie. That's what I think of.
Yeah, I think that's what's like
generally thought of.
Yeah, generally thought of.
So that's why I think maybe Nessie, but then again, you think of something of that size though, and Lake, and you also have Lake Superior with Champ, the other version of Nessie. Different areas all have different cryptids, and I think that is interesting. We were jumping from one thing to another.
Yeah,
it is. Paranormal. It could be just about anything.
Right.
Could be dealing with the afterlife. Could be dealing with angels, demons.
Yeah.
Ghosts, poltergeists, cryptids, monsters in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Or even aliens, or even just strange psychic people. People who can read minds, see the future, bend spoons without faking that spinning spoons trick. There's always use the chair to bend them. Because that's technically how there was debunked that, because there was a particular way you hold a spoon a particular way and bend it off the chair, you can bend the spoon. That's been debunked completely. How about psychic bending spoons? But then again, who knows? Maybe there's some that could actually just look at a spoon and bend it.
Yeah, right. All right.
I think that's been an hour.
Yeah, it's probably been an hour. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Crossover.
Just a general what we'll be talking about.
Just
how things were. Just introduce to the hosts of the thing.
Yeah.
And maybe what we believe, what we think of, and basically what we'll be talking about in future. It's into nations of this podcast that we most likely will probably be on radio.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to us on radio or on YouTube. Double dip.
Right. Yeah. Double dip.
Yeah. Money.
All
but yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good day.